Bonjour, bonjour.
Je m'appelle Jean. Je m'appelle Jacques. Soon. Good morning, advertising and marketing people. It is Wednesday, June 17th, and we are live in New York City talking about the biggest advertising and marketing news stories of the day in real time right now. Gino, how are you feeling?
Feeling good. I borrowed your blow dryer today. I blow dried my hair. You see the volume?
Yeah, it looks great.
Thanks,
It looks great. Are you using product?
No product.
Are you conditioner, shampoo?
Just conditioner.
Yeah, me too.
Shampoo like once a week.
I shampoo once
Oh, you
a
go.
blue moon.
Oh, really?
I don't know if that's
quarter?
the right thing to do.
Quarterly? Bi-weekly?
More than that. Bi-weekly probably. It makes more sense. It like dries out my hair and like the conditioner doesn't work as well. Did you just try to do a product placement?
Yeah, because I saw Chris Bellinger's post on LinkedIn that went crazy, and he had a really good point about working with people and having fun, working hard is the best
Love that.
way. Yeah.
Love that.
So
love
I
that
thought
from Chris Bellinger. Before we get into the news stories, I mean, we got a big show today. Colombe has a new global brand platform. Snap unveils their new spectacles.
Oh, those are crazy. Hey, I'm all in.
They're going to get memed into oblivion.
No, I'm in on them.
Daniel Montalto joins us to talk about Etsy's little jab at Jeff Bezos and Amazon. Chris Colliton joins us, Executive Creative Director at Zulu Alpha Kilo, to talk about their new work with Lyft, leaning into the price promotion aspect with this PSA of $1 bill made practically. We're going to talk about it. And then Ricardo Aspiazu is going to join us, the SVP of Creative Brand Design at Verizon. They brought back Austin Powers and Dr. Evil.
Yeah, they look
and
good.
I love that shit. I love Austin Powers. I love Dr. Evil. I'm excited because it literally like they revived the movie. It felt like an actual movie scene. So excited to talk about it.
Looked like they were having fun on set there.
Yeah, of course. Like, how could you
work.
not? How could you
Shows
not?
in the work.
But today, Gino announced that one ad agency was the Tim Duncan of advertising. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that as we tee up our first segment where we will be comparing the top 5 ad agencies from Ad Age's A-list to NBA and WNBA Hall of Famers, Gino?
You must have really liked this, Jack, because you're all over it now. But yeah, it's Orchard's the agency. David Kolbush, Heather Larimer, and their team there. They just put out really good, consistent campaign work that like people should study. It's all about the fundamentals. They do it really well. And I have said, well, they're the Tim Duncan of advertising. And that's the agency there. Their Etsy work, we're going to be talking with the marketing side, Monty, later today about the work from their perspective. But Orchard, Tim Duncan of advertising. Jack, you were inspired by that.
I was inspired by that, and so I decided I would take the top 5 Ad Age A-list winners from this past year, and we're going to do a little bit of player comparison. Which NBA and WNBA Hall of Famers legends are most like these ad agencies? If you recall, Ad Age's A-list. Number 1 was Rethink. Number 2, Mischief. 3 is High Dive. 4 is Tombras. And 5 is Code and Theory, these agencies. So let's get into it. I think we'll start with number 5. We'll start at the center position. Code and Theory. Let's think about it. Now, Code and Theory, a little bit ahead of the game, innovative, leaning into the tech, trying to be kind of like on the forefront of how we're using AI and how we're moving in this new digital age. Groundbreaking, being the first to something. So I went with.
Is Gino guessing or not?
No, Gino's not guessing. He's gonna react. I went with, for this one at the 5. That's Lisa Leslie, Gino.
Oh, Lisa Leslie.
First ever WNBA player to dunk. Lisa Leslie, an incredible center.
Incredible.
Really, did a ton for the sport in moving it forward. The WNBA, one of the first legends of the WNBA. Innovative player, silky smooth, technical.
Oh.
Very Code and Theory-esque.
Okay. And she was the first to dunk?
First to dunk in the WNBA.
Kind of broke that barrier, right? Mm-hmm. I'm assuming at that time it was like, will we ever see this?
We'll just lay it up. She said, no, I'm going to slam that thing.
Interesting here. I'll be honest with you, Jack. Code and Theory, I probably know the least of the top 5 here.
Yeah.
Just to let you know. But I do know that they created that board when it comes to political elections, and you have like the magical board that they go crazy on.
Yes.
I know they're integral into that process there,
cool.
and change the way that those reporters cover the elections there.
That's right.
So
and, number 4 at the 4 spot, power forward. Who's going to be down low with Lisa Leslie in our front court? It's Tombras, the agency from Knoxville, Tennessee. I went with, for the 4 spot, that is Charles Barkley.
Oh, okay.
The round mound of rebound. Charles Barkley from the South. He grew up, went to Auburn.
Makes
And,
sense.
Knoxville, Tennessee, SEC territory, the team from Tombras, they just a force. A force to be reckoned with. I think that's what you could say about Charles Barkley. Really well accomplished. Also, incredibly charismatic. Incredibly charismatic, as we have seen in his broadcast career. Gino, your thoughts on Charles Barkley as my Tombras comp?
I think he was. I feel like today he's a little bit like more overlooked in his player history, but was one of the best to ever do it. And the only thing that I have to comment on is I don't believe he has a ring, Jack.
I know, but so that's where the only thing I was going to mention, because Tombras does have the Ad Age A-list #1 spot from last year. That would be the only thing.
Okay.
But all the other things, I think mainly I was leaning into like the SEC sort of thing, because he went to Auburn and Tombras is in Knoxville based. Let's move on to the #3 spot. #3 is High Dive. Who we're going to have there in the 3? I've got Caitlin Clark.
Oh,
My guard.
That is a big take there, Jack.
Well, it's the correct take for many reasons. Caitlin, Iowa, high dive, based in the Midwest as well. Caitlin Clark, also a partner of State Farm.
Oh!
A main character in State Farm commercials. High Dive has done a lot of work with State Farm, one of their agencies.
Bateman versus Batman.
And I just think about Caitlin Clark, precision, prolific scorer. High Dive, they show up in the biggest scenes when it matters most. For the Super Bowl, High Dive, well known for all their Super Bowl work with mainly Lay's, and I'm thinking of the other people that they've done it with. It's not coming to mind. But Caitlin Clark, clutch player, clutch gene, shows up in the big moments. High Dive, similarly with the Super Bowl.
This is the greatest NCAA basketball player of all time. Most points.
Yep.
So that's a pretty big take here for High Dive. You know, give him a lot of love there. I see the similarities. I see the comparisons there, and I don't disagree.
Well, I think Caitlin's also early in her career. We'll see what the rest of her career has in store. But college, great college player, of course. Best college player probably of all time. Let's move on to the #2 spot. #2, our shooting guard, Mischief.
Oh, man.
This is LeBron. We got Bron. We got Bron. I want you to notice, it's a little like Caitlin Clark. I got LeBron as my 2 here because he's going to be bringing the ball up the floor alongside our 1, and I want him with the front court that we have. I want Bron in this spot as a wing player. But of course, Mischief and LeBron. It makes sense. And I got Miami Heat LeBron for a reason, because that stretch of his career is kind of what I feel about how Mischief's last 6 years have been. Their stretch of consistent, just like dominance.
Interesting. Okay, so I like how you highlighted a specific stretch of LeBron's career. If you looked at it holistically, like his whole career,
LeBron's
the longevity.
he's like 5 different players.
Right. I think that's a really important distinction.
Yeah,
there.
it's Miami Heat LeBron.
For sure.
Miami Heat LeBron.
I mean, that's the best version of LeBron, right?
Well, yes, that stretch. So that's why I think I didn't want to say Mischief is LeBron in LeBron's like career,
right,
because that would be a lot. Because Mischief hasn't been around that long. They don't have the longevity. That would be like wide.
I knew you were going to say that.
All right. And so finally, our point guard, Rethink, the Ad Age A-List Agency of the Year, our #1 spot. Rethink, our point guard, Steve Nash.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about Canadian, of course.
Canadian. That was pretty much the only reason why I chose Steve Nash. Point guard, one of the great point guards of all time, facilitator, Rethink, based in Canada. And Steve Nash is Canadian. So it just made sense to me. But Steve Nash, think about that career, it seemed to always was flashy, but it was always with intent.
Yes.
He was flashy, but it was because he put in so much work, and it all made sense within the system that he worked in. That's how I feel about Rethink when they do their work with like Molson Coors or Kraft Heinz. It feels stunty, it feels flashy, but it always has intent behind it.
You know, Jack, I think I did this little exercise in 5 minutes. I think we agreed with Rethink in the fact of like it has to be a point guard. I didn't know that you were doing
it's a 1.
Yeah. It makes sense to me, your explanation. I had Isaiah Thomas. Scrappy. Kind of got that fighting spirit to him. I'd see Aaron Starpin in the LinkedIn comment sections there calling those holding companies out.
Of course.
That was my take there. I have some other. I have my list too. But
it's not 1-to-1. I mean, Steve Nash. I don't think Steve Nash ever won a championship, so it's not like it's not that part of Steve Nash. But I think, I mean, he's Canadian. What else? What else can you possibly ask for? Anything else? For your 5-minute exercise, what'd you have?
All right, I had Hakeem Olajuwon, Silent Superpower for number 5 with Code in Theory. Number 4, Tombras. I had Magic Johnson because he elevated the dynasty. I wasn't going with
the actual positions.
Yeah.
But Magic could play the 4. He played power forward for a little bit of his career.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, the Lakers dynasty was already a thing. You think about Dooley coming in, he's elevating that to the next level. Showtime Lakers. Number 3 is High Dive. I put Larry Bird, MVP three-peat, 4 titles in 6 years,
Also
4
Midwest.
ad meters, number 1 spots in 6 years. Saw that comparison. Mischief number 2, I put Steph Curry, changing the game for independent agencies in the way that he shot and inspired the next generation, taking crazy chances. Maybe not for good. Maybe not everybody should start shooting those crazy threes.
Right. Did
Maybe
Steph
not
Curry
everybody
ruin the
should
game?
start their
Did
own
Mischief
agency.
ruin the agent? Did they ruin the next generation?
Who
How they're
knows?
Pulling up from 40 feet.
They might be inspiring, some agencies that shouldn't be starting.
For sure.
And then number 1, I put Isaiah Thomas for everything.
Great list. Great crew there.
like yours.
I
Yours
just
is
loved. We got Rick Williams talking about Chris Colliton is Hakeem Olajuwon. Chris Colliton's going to be joining the show later. Seasoned veteran, consummate professional. And Juanito in the LinkedIn chat said round mound of broadcasting. That was in regards to Charles Barkley, of course.
Yeah, he's
of course. Well, that was a fun little exercise. Do it at home. Let us know what you think.
It gets you thinking.
It's
Fun. Have fun learning about
Hey,
advertising.
come on, have some fun. Seriously, stop messing around, start having some fun. Let's get into the 2-minute drill, Gino. Everyone loves the 2-minute drill. How could you not? It's taken the nation by storm. It's the biggest marketing news, biggest stories of the day, 2 minutes each. La Colombe, must be the coffee, new global brand platform. What do you got for us?
I mean, it's good stuff here. It's, La Colombe was born in Philadelphia. Is that correct?
Yep.
And that's what this spot is all about. Real actors talking about their pride for the U.S. in the World Cup here. We have a fighting chance. We're underdogs. This is what this brand is about. And I love how the twist at the end, and he goes, so how do you wake up every morning with this hunger? And so it must be the coffee made by Uncommon.
Yeah, I like the ending. The ending really ties it together, brings you back to earth a little bit of self-awareness there. Like, okay, it's just, it's coffee. That's how I felt. Like at the end of it, I kind of was like, wow, this is kind of serious for a coffee ad. And then they kind of like, it was like a breath out. Like I let out some air a little bit to realize, okay, we're back.
Uncommon also made the Chobani work, which was it was a beautiful spot as well. I feel like it didn't have that punch in the end where it brought it back together, kind of like you can tell this was an ad. It was a beautiful film. The association works here. I feel like this direct tie to La Colombe is really, really nice.
Interesting to unveil a new global brand platform with the World Cup. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, it's a pretty crowded space. Interesting time to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's.
What is like your gut, like from like a comms perspective, and like you think about, do you want this to come out during like a time when there's gonna be a bunch of other ads, or is it like because it kind of ties in so well with the global brand platform, might as well? There's gonna be attention anyways.
I think it works.
Yeah.
I think it works.
Yeah.
I think you can make it work. It's all about the extension too. You're not a fan of grand launches. Like you don't think a big launch is going to make or break a campaign, and I think the consistency later on will matter.
Yeah, it will. But you still need something. You still need to be good. You need something to kick off the campaign. We're going to be talking with La Colombe, the people on the brand side, tomorrow. We'll ask those questions, Gino, about the timing of the launch. So stick around tomorrow. Pizza Hut is changing hands. What the hell is going on? Private equity is taking Pizza Hut from us.
Long Range Capital made the purchase here for, was it $3 billion, right around $3 billion from Yum Brands buying Pizza Hut here. Jack, finance breakdown? Is that like a good price? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. We'll find out shortly. Find out in the next couple of years. But Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken and a Pizza Hut. That I saw recently that they were going to try and do more of like the old school restaurant look. Mm-hmm. And I just can't imagine the private equity folks are going to be into that. It's going to be the extra costs.
It's going to be a great operation in those locations.
Well, so this is what the private equity like kind of is all about. Like I think you'll expect some changes.
You sanitize it.
You know, I think about like when Jersey Mike's went private equity. I don't really remember like pre-private equity Jersey Mike's as much, but post-private equity Jersey Mike's, I feel like they're pretty relevant still. Like they're doing
They work with
well,
High Dive.
and they still do the thing where they cut the meat right in front of you at Jersey Mike's.
Yeah, Mike's Way.
So you wonder, you never know how these things are going to turn out. But for Yum Brands, unloading one of their portfolio companies, and shout out to the Instagram Live. Shout out, if you're joining
they're
Instagram
just
Live,
giggle squad.
and if you are
You
watching
got a Geno
this,
cam right here. You got a.
if anyone on Instagram is actually enjoying this, it probably doesn't matter because Ellie's having as much fun for all of us.
VML won this creative account for Pizza Hut in October of 2025 here. So wishing them the best. I don't know what's going to happen here for them, but they did the Tom Brady Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut. I think about like Jersey Mike's. I guess we'd have to look back because they still work with High Dive, I believe, and I think that relationship stayed through the private equity transaction.
The last thing was a lot of this probably was the fact that the brand was so strong. Like that they were able
It
to
is a
sell
strong
for so
brand.
much.
Pizza Hut is a strong
very
brand. I mean,
strong
billions of dollars.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yes.
Take a Nick Day. Gino, what's going on? I believe Mother New York is helping the people of New York take off tomorrow for work. It looks like you can enter your name and it'll generate a doctor's note. And JR just did it right there. Dr. Declan Fishback.
He is a real.
Yeah, it's a real person.
He's a real PT.
Do we wonder about
physical therapist?
do we wonder about his career?
I think he's going to be loved by the masses here, but it's a good play by Mother New York tapping into their agent. It's really there's no brand assigned to it. This is just an internal project when you think about Uncommon's Rat Boot or what they do, or like these little agency stunts to give back to the community. It probably was somebody internally that was like, hey, I have this idea. Can we just...
Yep.
Can we
I
just make
got
this?
some credits for you. Looks like JR is uploading his doctor's note. We got creatives Tremaine Gary and Solon Sale. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, but two creatives at Mother that pulled this together. So it looks like maybe, definitely like an internal thing. Just fun, probably. Someone must have known or got a hold of the real doctor. I think that's the thing that's like for me is like, okay, this is good.
Signed on.
Because you see, like doctors know, you can see that being an idea, but to actually get a real doctor to be the one that's signing all these is so cool. And it just goes to show like the power of, having a creative idea and then going and executing it. So to the creatives at Mother and any people, account people, producers, this takes away from your day-to-day job. And Mother's an agency that does a lot of other stuff. So. Cool moment. And are you going to take a Nick Day tomorrow?
I will not be taking a Nick Day tomorrow.
We will be live at 11 a.m. Eastern time. The parade's going to be a block away, but we'll be here.
I feel like if you grew up in New York, you can take a Nick Day off.
Totally. I don't think we don't.
We haven't. We're rooting for them. We're not like diehard fans.
Correct. I don't want to take a spot of view from someone. No. e.l.f. Beauty and Bigfoot, Gino, what do you got here?
All right, this is done by Tom Briz. I saw Avinash's LinkedIn post here that e.l.f. came to Tom Briz asking, how do we launch into hair care? Because it's eyes, lips, face products beforehand, but then they want to get into hair. So just an absurd, very Tombra-esque social launch here. Something absurd. And they're tapping in Bigfoot. Where has he been? Well, he's been using
looks great.
Product.
It reminds me of like a little bit of like the Troy Polamalu. I always think of Troy Polamalu whenever there's hair product, the old Head and Shoulders ads.
And you think about a brand like e.l.f. that's been taking creative risks for years now, working with these partnerships, collabs with Liquid Death, and Corey Marchado, who is the CMO there, is very well known, very well acclaimed for their risk taking as a brand. Too Many Dicks campaign was a great campaign as well that won a lot of awards.
Yes, they're out there. It's a tough market. It's a tough industry to get a lot of attention in. You got to do weird stuff, and that's kind of like the route that they're going. Bigfoot. People love Bigfoot in ads. Sasquatch. That's the one that comes most to mind. Yeah. Sasquatch.
Caveman is the same thing.
Yes. Anything that's like
Geico Caveman.
Yeah, why is that?
Bigfoot adjacent.
Yeah, they're hairy creatures.
I don't know.
I don't know why
it's
that is.
It's just a mascot that's easily tapped into.
It's like a funny visual. Like I
The
get like
Yeti.
the visual.
Who had the Yeti?
The Abominable Snowman.
Yeah.
Oh, I
There's
don't
some
know.
brands that had
There's
that.
some funny stuff like that. These mythical creatures.
Bigfoot's got a lot of hair, Jack.
Yeah,
And that hair needs e.l.f.
And Tombra is an agency that has been on a heater on the new business front. I wasn't aware that they were working with e.l.f. Gino. So that's probably gonna be an exciting one for them to
Is
work
it
on.
foreshadowing for a deeper partnership? Maybe, maybe not.
TBD. Snap goes glasses again. Gino, let me show you the new
I freaking love
most viral meme in the next 3 days. If you could scroll down, look at this. Evan Spiegel. I mean, holy shit.
That's sick. I'm in on it.
I don't know if these pass a fashion check, but the Snap has unveiled
good,
specs. They've been, they just look insane when people wear them. They're back, Gino.
Show the video, JR. I pulled a video from somebody's LinkedIn. I forgot the name. It's in another link if you could pull it up, where he's actually, you can see it up close. No, yeah, I mean, they're really expensive.
Yeah, they're like over $2,000.
Everybody's racing right now to have the wearable, the thing that will replace the phone. And Snapchat did this in 2016 and did not work. But now they're betting that this more expensive replacement.
Look at this dude.
Yeah.
This is something that you wonder.
Let's give a shout out to who posted this.
Could a creative agency, Justin Taylor.
Yeah.
Shout out Justin. He says he looks like he walked out of a 3D movie. Side effect, cauliflower ear. Consumers are reluctant to put technology on their face, especially when it stands out as much as these. I think they're in some trouble. Yeah, I think they might be. It's a meme. It immediately was memed into oblivion.
From the brand perspective, the issue was Snapchat's core demographic skews younger, so you put a premium product when the economy is already low for the wrong demographic.
Yeah.
It's like, you have that amount of money, Jack. Would you want it from Snapchat? Wouldn't you go to?
This is like Allbirds selling off their shoe line and apparel to just be an AI company. It's like that far of a stretch. Like Snap should just sell off to whoever buyer wants them and just go all in on spectacles.
Listen, I
clearly
wanna try
that's what they want to do.
It might be one of those things, you put them on your face and you never go back.
Dude,
Who knows?
I hope not. The Meta Ray-Bans are the closest. The Meta Ray-Bans are
To Iron Man.
the closest to Iron Man and they're the closest to like actual adoption. Bert in the YouTube comment chat said Snapchat is drowning bad.
Come on, man.
They put so much time and energy into it. I believe the stock is down, so the market has reacted in such a way where we're not so sure about the plausibility of Snap spectacles. What about a campaign? How do we fix this with advertising, Gino?
Oh, man.
Because what they've done so far is
go the
they've kinda-
Gemini route and show the use cases of it in an emotional way.
They've leaned into like celebrity partnerships with the launch. I think they had like Dwayne Wade, a couple other celebrities wearing the Snap spectacles and like posting about it. The only thing I think that saves this is if it becomes a status signal. If it's like, if only the richest of the rich are getting it and it becomes like that kind of thing, that's your only hope at such a premium price point.
Whatever the iPhone did in 2007, just do that launch. Just do whatever Steve Jobs did back then in the 2026 way.
Well, they're already behind. They're already behind.
Well, I would say I think the
JR.
Snap glasses don't really look good, but I know it does look good.
Uh-oh. Rothmans. That's
Nice.
right. Thank you. JR.
Nicely done.
JR, this is what it's all about.
Shout out to our presenting sponsor, Rothmans. It's a fourth-generation, family-owned, independent menswear store celebrating 100 years in New York City. Their core belief is shopping should feel human, collaborative, and fun. They're perfect for the people like us who walk in not knowing very much and have some ideas, but they leave knowing what they want, feeling like the best version of themselves. Sometimes fashion, it could be intimidating, but when we walked into the store, all that stress went away, Jack.
Yeah, that's right. We were there last week. Check out Rothmans. All your big life moments, first dates to weddings, everything in between. Tell them Breaking and Entering sent you. If you go into their store, we like the New York City Union Square location. Also, they have locations outside NYC. Mention Breaking and Entering for 10% off in the store. And if you have to order online, use code BREAKING10 for 10% off. That's code BREAKING10. Shout out to Rothmans. They believe in us, believe in Rothmans. Get your next menswear purchase from Rothmans. But for now, we're going to bring in the VP of Brand Marketing at Etsy, Gino. We've got Daniel Montalto to talk about their most recent campaign calling out Jeff Bezos. Let's show the spot real quick, and then we'll bring in Daniel.
One Jeff should not rule commerce. There are over 5,000 Jeffs on Etsy. Real people making real things.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Jeff too.
Shop non-billionaire Jeffs. Etsy.
There he is. Monty, how's it going? Welcome to the show.
Good. Thanks so much for having me.
Well,
Appreciate it. Excited to chat.
No, it's a pleasure. And big time campaign. Etsy obviously has been doing some great work on the brand campaign side. Gino talked at length in his article today, but let's talk about the strategy behind this. Why do this right now?
Yeah, well, as you guys know, like a couple weeks ago, we launched our new brand platform, Celebrate Being Human, right? You guys spoke with Heather Larimer over at our wonderful agency, Orchard Creative. This is sort of the second chapter in that campaign, right? So a lot of people are talking about, there's a lot of conversation about sales, right? The biggest brands are all running sales right now. What we wanted to do is use this moment to direct people back to like the human side of commerce, right? And it's a good opportunity for us to showcase that like human connection, and that Etsy is really a platform of 6 million real people like making things, right?
That's a great spot to be in. I think the human craft, like the touch behind it, is so valuable nowadays. When we look at it from a creative advertising perspective, if anybody senses AI or some like mass automation, they just immediately hate on it. So the fact that you have those real people, you're leaning into that is so important. I want to back things up. Working with Orchard on the original campaign, how did you brief them on Celebrate Being Human, and then also, getting to this spot today? What was those initial conversations like with that agency?
Yep. So yeah, as I said, like human connections, like the foundation of our platform, right? So one of the things we've realized is like we have a highly recognizable brand, right? But where we were really struggling is consideration. We know that Etsy has like, among our 6 million sellers, making things like an opportunity for every occasion. So one of the things we wanted to do was expand people's consideration of the moments where Etsy can matter in people's lives, right? So where you really want something meaningful and special, right? That's where you're going to want to work with another human being to find that right gift, that right thing to commemorate like a, a life event or whatever it is. So that's how we ended up with Celebrate Being Human as the platform. And like, we were super excited to build off of it. Jeff's is, as I mentioned, the second installment of it, right? And the core message of it, right, is that there you have a lot of options on where to shop, right? Convenience, sale, but what you really want is something special, and you want that human connection, right? Etsy's the place to come, and where we can provide that.
It's always interesting to me. I can always appreciate when a brand like directly goes at someone. You directly drop the gloves, you address the elephant in the room. Was there any consideration as to like the thought behind it? Like maybe we shouldn't go after the biggest name in the world, but like what's the mindset for the brand when it comes to almost poking the bear and jabbing directly?
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, right, it's about directing attention, right, to our sellers, right? Yeah. We're using this moment in like commerce, right? There's a lot of conversation around big sales and steep discounts. So, I also think we know that like, a lot of the big retailers, right, they serve a role in everybody's lives, right? Like, I think the point is when you want something meaningful, right, that's when you want to come to Etsy, and we can meet all of those occasions. So, having Etsy in the conversation is an important piece. And there are so many times when I talk to people and they find out I work at Etsy and they're like, I just bought a gift for my wife for my anniversary. I didn't think of Etsy. Like I should have thought for Etsy. I celebrated this meaningful milestone for my daughter's, school. And, I should have thought of Etsy, right? So that was the goal for us, was to remind people that there are real people on the other side of our platform who really power everything that people can get. So, it's about starting a conversation and making people think about Etsy and our sellers first.
Yeah, I am excited about the Jeffs. There's also another Etsy user that I'm particularly fond of, and that would be my mother. My mom has done I got her website up right now. She's done 4.9 thousand sales.
Holy crap.
18 years on Etsy, 651 reviews for a 4.9 star rating.
Wow.
So she does quilt patterns.
Wait, say it again.
She is an OG. I mean, Etsy's been around for over little over 20 years, so she's been with us for day one. Thank you so much for.
What's her handle?
Thank you so much.
On.
Yeah. Shout out your mom's shop.
Yeah. I'll send
dude.
it. I'm putting it into the run of show in the notes. Cell 5 JR, and you can pull it up on screen. But she's Donna's Quilt Patterns. It's Donna's Quilt Patterns. Right. So I guess
that's what it's all about.
Leads into like for that. How do you? This is such an interesting way to like tell stories like that. But finding the Jeffs. How did you find the Jeffs?
Well, we sort of looked at look first of all, this idea like had its genesis a few years ago. It came up in the context of holiday. We felt like at the time, like we hadn't really built the brand narrative to get us to the point to make statements like these, and to really think about, we've been, one of the things we've been doing the last several years is putting our sellers more and more forward in our marketing, right? They are the humans in the keep commerce human, right? That is Etsy's mission. So we've been putting them more and more in the marketing. The other thing is, what we've really been trying to do over the last several years, and Orchard has been our partner with this and really helped us to unlock this, right? Is to continue to say things that are not only meaningful, but like, we've sort of said like a little like disruptive or like punk rock, right? So what is the way that Etsy can stand out, right? Because we are different from the rest of the herd. And I think like this felt like the moment where now that we have our brand creative, like our brand platform, this was something that we could build on top of it as the next moment, right? So we had a lot of conversations internally. This was actually one of those unique ideas that did start internal with the client, right? But when we gave it to Orchard, they were able to shape it into something that like to find the right balance to make it really deliver on not only on the platform, but also on the message. And, I couldn't be more happy with the result. And, like I watched that spot and it really like it's meaningful for people like your mom who are sellers, right? And see themselves reflected in it. So they just nailed the execution, nailed the creative, nailed the message. And it just feels like we got there. But in terms of how we found the Jeffs, we did some research. Turns out we have over 5,000 sellers named Jeff on our platform, and we just looked for the ones with interesting stories, who had had tenure on the platform, and really were putting their heart and soul into their craft. So we found these 3 Jeffs from different parts of the United States, and went into their environments, right, to really capture who they are and where they're from, as well as the items that they're pouring their heart and soul into. And that's how we found them. But I mean, these 3 Jeffs are just one of many, that not just Jeffs, but like other sellers we're going to be showcasing as part of this platform, right? More than 80% of our sellers are women. So, we want to like the Jeffs, like it's a very common name, but like, so we were able to find a lot of folks. But part of this campaign will be showcasing, all of our sellers and the things that they do.
I was going to say, there is no way this campaign, this response, this shot from other Jeffs was going to get any negative backlash.
Yeah.
There's no way. It's so smart, so easy to understand. Everybody can get behind it. I think it's a win all across the board here. And I think what you also I wanted to comment too on the fact that you guys had this idea, you were waiting for the right time, you told Orchard about the idea, and they helped shape it. This is not how a traditional brand agency partnership usually works. Usually the brand is the one that comes up with like the marketing brief, and then the agency concepts and gets the idea approved. So talk to me about that relationship specifically. It sounds like more of a creative partnership in a way. It's like you're partnering at the top level to execute together. Is that a fair assumption?
I mean, look, with this one, what I would say is we brought them like a very deeply undeveloped concept, right? An idea that, really worked as sort of as a log line to get us to the campaign, right? And Orchard's the one who planted that seed and turned it into something beautifully and meaningfully creative, right? Obviously, our role in the partnership, right, is to show up and to help them to like understand our brand and the direction that we're going. But Orchard has been such a great partner in helping us to push and extend the boundaries of that brand. Like I said, like saying things that being able to say things that are more meaningful. Like a couple of years ago, we did a campaign with Where's Waldo? We licensed the IP, and the idea of the piece was that Waldo didn't like everybody was looking for Waldo, right? But he didn't feel seen in his own life. And at the end of the spot, Wenda gives him a gift, and he feels seen, right? And that is like it's sort of inverting your expectations about Waldo, right? It's not disruptive in like the traditional sense, but it is subverting your expectations of who Waldo is, right? And I think that's what we've been really successful with Orchard in is making statements that subvert people's expectations, not only of Waldo, but of Etsy and like the many ways that we can show up in people's lives.
Love that.
Yeah, where Etsy goes from here now, like in continuing this campaign and celebrating being human, and where you look in the future, like what's the goal for Etsy to like stand out as a brand in like an e-commerce world?
Yeah, I mean, look, I would say like, I think there's a lot of sameness, right? That can be from items to how you get your things, how quickly you get your things. Look, nobody's like doesn't want to when they order their toilet paper to get it like between 7 and 11 a.m. the next morning, right? That is a great thing. That's a convenience. What we want for Etsy is for when people want to go that one layer deeper, they want something special, they want something meaningful, connected to a moment, connected to their fandom, right? That they're going to come to Etsy, find the right person to help to make it unique and personal, right? That could be personalized, customized items, but that's sort of the way that we're looking at it moving forward.
Yeah,
Well, you're doing just that.
yeah, it does feel like it already kind of has that association with me, like the
Yeah. So what's next after that?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Because you already got that.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, I mean, now we've got our platform, right? And we're going to keep building on top of that, right? So we have, I think there's next week we have some other extensions of the Jeff's campaign that'll be launching, which we're hoping, will be pretty exciting. We're doing like mobile out of home around cities and around the United States. And then, we'll be launching like a third part that really focuses on the seller storytelling piece and how they fit into people's lives. But that's just for this campaign, right? And then the next thing we're going to do is extend that into holiday, which is our next big moment. So
yeah.
just been
There you
like super excited and like just feels so like, privileged to be able to do this with our partners at Orchard who have been so great.
And you guys have done a couple Super Bowls in the past too.
We did a Super Bowl, yeah.
A Super Bowl.
I think 2 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
My last question is around like media channel strategy, and how do you all thinking about that? Like there's so many different ways to go. I think Etsy is like a particularly interesting brand for someone to think about like how you place media and like, do you go creator? Do you go out of home? Do you go with TV spots?
Yeah.
How do you guys think about media placement?
I mean, I think the answer for that is yes, right? Like we want to be able to places that our customers are, right? And that includes our current customers, but also future customers, right? We've been leaning into how do we connect with younger shoppers in a meaningful way, right? They may not have high purchasing power today, but like Gen Z is the only cohort, right, who's going to continue to grow in purchasing power as well as in size, right, as they age into our shopping demographic, right? So it's about building those relationships early on. Like I said, Etsy is an extension of fandoms. It's an extension of people's passions. There is something for everybody, right? So we've got this like really broad task of these like, these big messages that we have to land, but on the social channels, on the creator, that's where we can go more narrow and niche, right? And get into, the pet owners and, all people's different niche passions, which, I think show up on the platform every day, like your mom's shop, right?
Yeah.
That's a big part of what we do. So.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. If my mom is watching this, she's gonna freak. But either way, Monty, thank you so much for joining the show. Absolute pleasure. Congrats on the campaign, and excited for the rest of the extensions and where Etsy's headed in the future.
Yeah, keep an eye out. There'll be some fun stuff. We're super excited. Thanks so much for having me on and just giving me the space to talk about this.
Of course. Thank you, Monty.
Yeah, have a good one, guys. Thanks so much. Take care.
That was Daniel Monty Montalto talking about their latest campaign, Shop with Other Jeffs, ahead of Amazon Prime Week, Gino.
So we have Etsy calling out Amazon. Our next segment is Lyft calling out Uber.
Yeah.
So back to back.
Indirect, yeah, but we can go there.
I'm calling it.
We'll
This call out. Back to back beef sesh.
When Chris joins, he doesn't have to say it. I'll advise him that he does not have to say that, but
You step into the Thunderdome, you gotta.
He's
game.
You guys probably can hear it.
But Chris Colliton is the ECD at Zulu Alpha Kilo, who created this new Lyft ad here. Can we show it? Is that legal?
Yeah, let's show it, and then we'll bring.
Across America, money is being abandoned, forgotten, wasted. You can help by donating just a few seconds to check Lyft before your next ride. You can give money a better home inside your wallet. Save the money. Check Lyft.
Chris, welcome to the show. Nicely done.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
It's a pleasure to have you. Thanks for joining. Let's talk about Gino. Out of the gate, he said Lyft is calling out Uber. Let's just get. I would like to hear your reaction to that, we just watched the commercial and the spot of the PSA.
I would say we are being honest. Because actually, the whole thing is actually, really a truth that I think you can't argue with. And there was like an insane study done by Johns Hopkins and Harvard, that found that people can save on average like 14% if they were to check both rideshare apps. And I think for us, it's not about making up the story, like backing it up with data, basing it in something real. But then honestly, one of the most kind of humble and cool things about the line Check Lyft is we're not asking people to delete Uber, only look at Lyft. It's like, just check. It's the benefit of all humanity, all Americans. Do it and you'll save money. And backing it up with real data, like the number of people who do this is only like 16% people who check both apps. It's crazy. And that's a lot of left money on the table. Sad money.
It's not a big lift to ask somebody to go check out the other apps.
Yeah, why not?
Just check it. It's not a big lift.
Yes, that's all you're trying to do is just change consideration just for a second, for a brief moment. So was that like from Lyft, was that the big kind of insight? Is the idea of like, we have the stats behind us here to prove it. Now we just need to communicate that in a creative way. Is that kind of the gist?
Yeah, it was a behavior change. Like so many people are just on autopilot all the time. Like I'm gonna call an Uber. That's actually a pretty expensive habit. Like if you think about it. So it was all about like, let's put the thought in people's head in a really memorable, fun, clever way, and make people feel like they're doing something and caring about this. So like that's the goal. It's not like, oh, let's tell this crazy story, let's do this thing. It's like, let's just change behavior in people with a simple message.
And why do you think it was the right time for this type of spot for the brand where they brief you to work on this?
I mean, first of all, they've always kind of been, Lyft's always been a bit of a challenger brand. They're not gonna dominate with like outspending everyone. They're not gonna try to force a message down people's throat. I think for them it's like, let's do something humble, do something that feels truly Lyft. But for us too, like the way we brought it to life is equally a big part of the story. Like everything in it was practical. We got puppets. We got like it felt like a new take, but also something that felt really well crafted and something that could actually make people think about money in a way they've never done it before. Make them feel something for a dollar bill.
Yeah. How do you get that dollar bill to move around like that?
Yeah, I mean, we got to get into this. The puppeteering. Let's get into the craft.
Well, it's a funny story. So Jeff Lowe, amazing comedy director. When we were first talking to him on the phone, he's like, well, the way I usually approach these types of things is I just get Wes Anderson's people, and we're like, that sounds pretty good, and lo and behold, he did. So we worked with like two of the best puppeteers like in the world. Like this is crazy niche community that's, you know, probably better at that one thing than I'll ever be at anything. But they, it was Andy Jebb who worked on Fantastic Mr. Fox and Isle of Dogs. He was like the surgeon, the rig master. He like built this custom 2-hand rig, and then Ollie Taylor worked on Star Wars and a bunch of other big stuff. He like figured out how to make the bill move, make him like mope around. I think the first time we were seeing the tests, we couldn't stop laughing because it was just like sulking around. We felt so sad for this little bill, this piece of paper, and we're like, you know what? This is just my work.
Yeah, the idea. So the idea. I mean, yeah, it's kind of like. So you have the idea of what if we had like the main character be this really sad dollar bill, and then from there you're like, okay, well we can get the director to do it, and then it's just like kind of that chain reaction, which is super interesting. Like, how long did all this take to come together?
Ooh, I mean, it was fast.
Okay.
From the standpoint of like this wasn't the only idea that was on the table when they were sitting, but I do think once we all really aligned on what we wanted the message to be, this like rose to the top quickly. But the turnaround time was quite quick, knowing that Lyft wanted to be in the market right now, and I think, you know, probably with this idea first, you know, being put on paper to now was, you know, probably 3 4 months.
Yeah.
Which, you know, some of these like bigger projects you're working on them for a year or something, but this was like quick, and, you know, aligning on the director, the campaign, and also the fact that there was like such good buy-in from everyone on the team, from our side, the Zulu side, and also like the Lyft team, all the way up the ranks. Everyone was like, oh, this is it. And then, you know, there wasn't a lot to debate. It's just like, let's just make this thing as great and funny as possible.
Yeah.
Well, so I don't know if you know or can say, like, is the plan for now for Lyft to focus on the save money aspect, to change the habit of checking? Is that where we can continue to see the brand going?
I mean, for right now, absolutely. Like, it was like, how do we kind of cut through all the other stuff, say something simple? If it's a save money message, and it really quite simply is, like, let's hammer that home. And if people in their brains are like, Lyft, this is the rideshare app that'll help me save money, like, that's a pretty good win. And let's change it.
Yeah.
It's so interesting because, like, the save money angle is usually applied and reserved for the insurance. Insurance competitors in that category. The fact that you're taking that on, it just opens up so many creative pursuits, different angles that you can take now within that. So it's fun.
I honestly think about it like it's because ride sharing is, in my opinion, in my usage of it, a commodity. Like, the different rideshare apps is kind of like you're getting a very similar experience. It's not like it's not like you're getting a budget experience with Lyft.
No.
But you can save money and get the same thing. So I think it's pretty smart. And Lyft also like kind of has, you know, to be a challenger brand, Chris, it's probably, you know, more fun to be in the challenger side, right?
For sure.
Yeah, and you don't need to be the one that's, you know, needing to dominate. You can be true to who you are, and you can have a little fun with it. And I think too, you're talking about insurance brands, and you know, save money is not. There's lots of people who've said it for different things over the years. When we just added one word, save the money, it honestly unlocked so much. It was like, let's make this thing stand out from any other save money message that people have seen before. And for us, it also gave it a whole personality. You make people feel something like they're, you know, like they're
That's pretty funny.
saving the kittens.
Save the money.
Oh, yeah. I can see the money going through some terrible scenarios. You guys helping it.
Save the money. Save the money. Yeah. Come on, guys.
It's like a PSA.
It is. Yeah. Well, that's what they won for. And I want to ask Chris too, while we still have you. You know, you've been at Zulu Alpha Kilo now for probably like a year. Remember, we announced it. You did it with us live in person. How has it been? How have you seen the agency? Because I think, been some great stuff coming out of the shop. But how have you seen the last year been your time at Zulu Alpha Kilo?
I mean, I would say it's been great. It's been crazy. It's fun thinking about. I think I actually came with you guys on your show my first day or second day.
Yeah.
Also, now I'm seeing this insane setup you have on my call. Maybe I'll just map my trajectory here with the break and entering guys, because you guys seem to be blasting off. But no, it's been honestly awesome, and we have a ton of new work coming out, different clients coming in. I feel like too, the number of people I'm getting to work with, both in New York and Toronto, I'm like, wow, there's so much good stuff here, and so much good to come. It's crazy from the standpoint of like we're constantly on the move to the next thing, but I love it.
Yeah, I love it. It's exciting. Anything else from you, Gino?
No. Thanks so much for coming on. Great job with the new Lyft ad. Save the money.
Save the money.
You better check both apps, guys.
I will.
Yes, sir.
You can make a difference.
Make a difference. Come on, guys. If we all just pitch in here, we can all make a difference.
The business card is on Lyft for my account.
Yes,
so I just want to let you you know that. So I only use one business travel Lyft.
But
sounds like an official endorsement from Breaking It.
There it is. We just got reverse clip farmed right there. You just clip farmed that. You just baited us into a clip, Chris. Yeah.
Next level marketing.
That's good. Next level. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate you.
Good to see you, as always.
Good to see you. That was Chris Colliton, the Executive Creative Director at Zulu Alpha Kilo, talking about their latest campaign with Lyft. Lyft looking to be the challenger, going into the price. I think it's a smart move to go the price route if you can prove it, right?
For sure. Might as well. No, they're not even saying that it's better. Just check it. Just check. Just do yourself a favor and freaking check it.
Save the money. Your favorite, kind of similar to this, do you think of Avis like as one of the great examples of like challenger? Can you give us a little history lesson with Avis?
Avis was number 2 to Hertz, and challenger brand manifesto. They wrote that we're number 2 because we try harder, and that's like we've really kind of set the script for all challenger brands from there on, done by DDB in the 1960s, late 50s, could be as well. So yeah, like that's the case study that people study.
Yeah, to like let your hair down and be a little, as a challenger, you kind of have the more of the authority to be self-aware and lean into it, lean into the things everyone knows it. You shouldn't deny the facts. You should lean into it and turn it into a strength.
For sure.
So you wonder, what's the right method? How should Lyft think about their position for that?
For sure. I mean, like you look at PepsiCo, and what they've done with the Pepsi brand, and like that whole playbook, it does stem, I would say, from that Avis car ad. Like they really paved the way for that.
Right. And could you see? I mean, like you think about automobiles before we get into the next interview, but automobiles, I just think of like Avis, best challenger brand, like Lyft. Should they we try harder? Can't say that though if you're Lyft, because you're kind of like relying on drivers that aren't necessarily like they're third-party contractors.
Yeah.
Unless you just like.
I feel like a lot of the drivers do both.
Yeah, they do both.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It's like a commodity.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a commodity. Like you're getting the same exact experience.
Yeah.
If Lyft could meaningfully lower their prices, it would make a big difference. Yeah. Let's move on with the show, Gino. Our final interview is a big one because Verizon, this means the world to me. I don't know how to say how important it is for me that Austin Powers is back. But more importantly, we've got the SVP of Creative and Brand Design. It's Ricardo Aspiazu to talk about how Verizon brought back Austin Powers and Dr. Evil. We're going to play the spot real quick, and then we'll bring on Ricardo to talk about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to unveil my newest evil organization. I shall call it Menace Mobile. We'll have the most confusing pricing and plans of all time.
Dr. Evil, it's genius.
Sucks. Scott, something you'd like to add?
Yeah, this isn't evil. This is just typical phone company stuff.
Hama what?
It's literally what everyone already hates.
No, Scott. You're literally what everyone hates.
You're
Hate
not.
the game, not the player.
What are you even talking about?
Haters gonna hate.
You just.
Hey, Gaspery,
This is...
My heat's off to you.
That doesn't even make
My
sense.
favorite country, Haiti.
Whatever. Diabolical phone companies are why we're all switching to Verizon.
I thought Verizon was just like the rest of the wireless organizations.
Well, they were, but not anymore. They just got rid of activation and upgrade fees. They're changing everything.
Frau, you switching?
Yes, doctor. I get cash back every month. Bring in the Verizon dollars for everyone!
You too, number 2?
It's true, Dr. Evil. Verizon's new plan is simpler than ever before. There's just one plan and one price. They even call it the Simplicity Plan.
Who are you talking to?
Nobody.
Look, the point is nobody wants to join your stupid phone service. We're with Verizon now.
So you're all choosing Verizon, That's cool. Totes my goats, all good. Just one more thing. This organization does not tolerate traitors. Prepare to die!
Goodbye activation and upgrade fees. Hello, Verizon dollars for every customer. And now, introducing the all-new Simplicity Plan.
Can you hear me now?
Ricardo Aspiazu, welcome to the show. We just watched it. 2-minute spot. It's just great. It's so funny. How are you all feeling coming out of the campaign launch?
Hey guys, well, first of all, thank you for having me today. We are ecstatic across the board. It's been an insane sort of like received of the movie or the preliminary movie of Austin Powers 4, which everybody's expecting. And that's the way that people are taking it. It's just like as a glimpse of like what's to come. So it's been a great day at Verizon across the board for sure.
I need to just address right now, Gino, how your mustache compared to Ricardo's right now. I mean, this is an embarrassing moment for you. He is just.
I just got mustache mod.
This is it, Ricardo. When you pull up like that, it immediately becomes a competition. Everyone is thinking about it. Before we go on with the rest of the interview,
I don't appreciate you bringing that.
Tips for Gino on the mustache.
Yeah, I can give you some tips. I mean, obviously you gotta shave it once in a while fully, so it grows very strong again. If you want it to look good, some wax always helps. Yeah.
What trick do you use? Scissors? Like, how do you get it clean?
I use scissors, and I have a trick for making it stay the way it is, which is I bought a eyelash gel. And I use it on my mustache so it doesn't move. So like when I'm like doing this kind of interviews or I'm out and about, stays where it is. That's what you want of a long mustache, to stay where it is.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, write that down.
What brand?
Gino. Write that down. No free ads for the eyelash gel brand.
Listen, that's just earned media.
It's just.
I know.
If we like brands, we talk about it. That's what we do for a living.
You know what's earned a lot of attention is this campaign, this ad. I guess, were you on set? Was the team on set for this? So I just want to, first and foremost, I think can we hear about the experience on set working with the cast of Austin Powers and what it was like and how you kind of like managed the script aspect versus letting them riff? I think that's always interesting to hear about.
Yeah, I think the most important part of it is the collaboration that we had with the cast. I think we knew it was a stretch to go and get the full cast for this because we have heard that Mike was declining not only doing Austin Powers number 4, but really any sort of like brand deals or connections with him or with the franchise itself. So we took a stab. This is our in-house team. We wrote this sort of like very like long movie because it was almost like 5 minutes long at the first sort of like instance. And we took it to Mike because we knew we had to start with him. Immediately, we got a great reception for him, but also like, let's get on the phone right away and let's talk about this. And like, I will tell you truly, like, I'll show you this because this is a picture of Mike literally in his writing room. And what you see back there, it's all the scripts, and like we spent hours. This joke, not this joke. What about this? Rewrite this. So it was our writers, his writers, but him being front and center of it. And then it became like a little bit of the magic. When he was in, Rob was, I'm in. Seth was, I'm in. Mindy was like, I'm in. They haven't seen each other in years. They haven't been in the same room in years. So for them to come together was just like a treat. And you see the love and the collaboration on set. And then it was to make this look like the movie, which was the most important thing, right? So we knew that, okay, we have the full cast. The only person that can do this is Jay Roach, which is the original director of all the three Austin Powers movie. We didn't want any other commercial director. We wanted a movie director. And this was also Jay's first ever commercial. So it's the risk of also kind of like landing something that perhaps looks amazing, but you cannot use for commercial use. Jay is an insane collaborator, and he sort of like was part of it from the get-go, right? And then being on set is like you have to build an evil lair inside a mountain. And we did that here in New York. We actually built it in Navy Yards. Everything from the little buttons and everything playing, all of it, like a perfect replica of it. The only thing we changed is like the table where they're sitting is actually a phone, just to give it a little bit of a nod. But being on set, it's interesting because they're very much stick to the script and they want to nail it. And then they're like, all right, everybody's happy. Everybody's happy. Now we're going to play. And they went on and on and on and on playing all that sequence that you see in the script about the hating, my hate half of my favorite country, Haiti. That was never scripted. That was never rehearsed. That really just started to happen on set. And it's that kind of movie magic that you get that actually makes it to the final cut, that makes everything so superb, you know?
And then, so I guess, like, what does, I guess, I don't know who you report up to, but whoever the boss, your boss's boss, up to the C-suite of Verizon, how did they react when they saw the treatment for them to approve?
Yeah, so I report to CMO Leslie Berland, and we tend to be very eye to eye all the time. So we were in this together from the very beginning. But then, like socializing across the organization, I have to tell you, it wasn't hard, and it wasn't hard because this franchise has multi-generational love, affection, and memories. So it was very easy to be like, don't tell me you're bringing all of them back. The real cast? Yes, the real cast. Okay. So it was a very easy selling. And I think also it was a way to push something that was perhaps bolder, because there's a lot of self-awareness in this video as well, in this sort of like film as well. In order to step out of the category, you need to recognize that you're part of it, right? In order to fix the problem, you need to recognize that perhaps those problems have lived within your walls as well. So it was not only the format and the sort of like the cinematic magnitude of everything, but also sort of like the idea that we were going to be talking about ourselves in a very honest way as well. And that actually really fascinated a lot of people inside the company, because it's the new way that we are talking about Verizon. We're being transparent, we're being simple, we're being front end. So this really landed in a way that we could do that and still entertain people and still be very clear about what we were offering.
Yeah, I think there's lessons here. Like, you bring in a movie director and you get a movie cast and you create a cinematic universe in a film, and then but it becomes a commercial. Versus like, let's go get a commercial director. Let's go do this. Let's do a commercial because we got to get all the people that make commercials, and we're going to go make a commercial. But it feels like the way that, especially these days, the way things are moving, where like this campaign might have its biggest impact on YouTube, just organically, like that reach. So how is that, like over the years, like that change of like, you probably could have gotten away with just making like a commercial, and it would be just as successful. But today, it feels like it almost is. It's such a more complex game.
I think there is a desire for long form now too. You know, it's like in a world when we're like scrolling things and we are like 3 seconds up on a screen, left and right, up and down. Sometimes you just want to like take a breath and you want to stop and you want to like really enjoy something. Of course, that something cannot be anything. It has to be well crafted. It has to be well done. And we have been doing already long forms in the past. Especially recently from some of the work that we did with Connor's story. So we had a benchmark in terms of the learnings of like how many people actually really engage with longer pieces of content, right? So that's what we wanted to start with, like sort of like the baseline of how amazing this could be. And then of course, like every other campaign, like every other media buy, you have your 60, you have your 30s, you have your 15, you start to develop sort of like that wall of sound so that everything sort of like reminds you and bring you back to sort of like that top of the pyramid, which is sort of like the short film, right?
It's great.
So can you reiterate again for myself and for the audience, why was this the right moment to launch this spot?
Yeah. So basically, Verizon is taking a lot of innovative steps to sort of like break the industry mold. We know that 61% of Americans express some sort of frustration with their mobile or phone companies, right? And that goes across a platitude of things, certain fees. I don't understand my plan, or I don't know what I'm paying for it. And are they really rewarding me for being a customer, etc.? So these were the three sort of like pieces that we wanted to solve. So that's why sort of like we had to be like, all right, if we want to attack the category, or at least step out of it, let's do it in a way that we can make a very visceral reaction for consumers, right? So the best way to kind of like foil to do that was to lean into what we call the confusion or the negative part of it, right? Which was very easy to kind of like say the perfect foil for there is Dr. Evil, and give him sort of like the opportunity to say, I'm going to do something so evil that people are going to be confused and people are not going to feel rewarded and people are going to feel like we're charging fees, only to realize that Verizon was already 10 steps ahead, cleaning up all that mess, right? So it was a great way for us to communicate the step forward. But as I said earlier, to be self-aware, there's a very specific line from Mike in the spot that he says, isn't Verizon like the rest of the wireless organizations? And then says, yeah, they were, but not anymore. And I think that's a thing that perhaps 5 years ago, we would have never said in any commercials of Verizon. We would have never taken mea culpa for something that perhaps we were part of, right? So this is why this foil and this sort of like format was so important for us to nail perfectly.
I want to just, news dropped this morning. I mean, I'm looking at Variety right now. Mike Myers was on Trevor Noah's World Cup watch party.
Yep,
and
he did it.
Trevor asked if we're going to get an Austin Powers 4. Mike Myers said yes.
Yeah.
So we are, as of this morning,
yeah,
we have Austin Powers 4 is happening according to Mike Myers. That's a breaking news. This is why we do it live, Ricardo.
It is. I learned about it right before this call. Somebody sent me the clip of Trevor Noah, and I said, this is the best news ever, because if you look at the social sentiment that this campaign has had, I would say 90% of the commentary is like, now you have really made me want that.
Yes.
Yeah, people are craving it.
I don't want to like jump to conclusions, and like I would never ask you to do the same, Ricardo. But I mean, we have to assume that through the process of making this commercial, this short film, I'll call it, I imagine getting the team back together. The cast hadn't seen each other in years. This had to have sparked a little bit of, willingness and excitement and desire to go and make Austin Powers 4. I mean, I don't think it's that crazy of a jump.
No. I mean, we obviously had, as the pieces were building together and more of the original sort of like craft of the film was getting done, we did have a suspicion that perhaps this was sort of like a preview of what this could be, because there was such an insanely sort of like attention to detail and getting this right. And also there was a very keen need to make sure that this was Jay. You know what I mean? Because only he can give you a preview of Austin Powers.
It's so funny.
This is incredible.
If you think about it from like their perspective,
Yes.
it's like, well, guys, relax.
Yeah, it's like why are they
you don't have to try so hard.
Wow, I really love it. But it's I mean, to think about like the trust that there has to be across the partnership. For something, it means so much. It matters so much. Even if they weren't doing Austin Powers 4, it's still like it's such a like piece of IP and franchise that really still holds so much value for all those individuals involved and the director. So for this to come together is just incredible. What a moment.
It is a great moment for us. We always tend to see is like we don't tell people what they need, we give them what they want. And this is an insane way to pay that promise. We gave them what they want, and I'm sure it's going to be an amazing film.
Amazing.
Well, incredible story. Gino, any other questions for you?
No, congratulations on the spot.
This is what it's all about. Ricardo, congrats to you and the rest of the team. Celebrate
Thank
it.
you.
And we'll see you at the Austin Powers 4 premiere presented by Verizon.
You guys there.
Thanks,
Thank you so
Ricardo.
much, guys, for having me.
Yep,
Thank
thank
you
you.
both.
Amazing. That's crazy. This morning, I was looking it up. I was like, wait, this feels like there's something more here. And of course, Austin Powers. According to Mike Myers, they're doing Austin Powers 4.
Yeah, baby.
Look at that. Oh, behave. Mike Myers says Austin Powers 4 is going to happen. Can you believe it?
I was late to watching these movies, but I watched them in college. I was dying for them, so I'm pumped for this. This is great.
For it, and you can't ask for a better moment, better timing. So you just think about the timing of Verizon is unbelievable because it sounds like Verizon kind of had the idea, and they're like, it's kind of a long shot, but we'll ask if they want to do it. And Mike Myers was probably just waiting. Mm-hmm. I imagine this is speculation, waiting for a call from someone to just give them the chance or the opportunity to do a little test run. See if they still got it, and they do still got it.
Do we need to call up Warner Bailey to see how this all works now?
Yeah, give him a call. See if he'll answer.
I don't have his number.
Okay. But
We'll get him on the show.
Tune into AVA, Assistants vs. Agents shout out. They're doing great stuff in the Hollywood beat. But Gino, before we send our audience off, we have to address something because Curtis Petralia from Deutsch, this is a friend of the program. You know, you made a comment that Pepsi was the number 2 challenger for Coca-Cola. Curtis said, whoa, whoa, whoa.
Is he calling Dr. Pepper?
Everyone knows Dr. Pepper is number 2. He says we need a correction. Are you willing to step down from your take that Pepsi is number 2?
Let me just do a sales search.
No, he's going to do a sales search. Is Dr. Pepper number 2? Obviously, like PepsiCo is bigger, but
what should I look up on Gemini?
Pepsi versus, I think we got JR doing it. Pepsi versus Dr. Pepper. Oh, there it is.
There we go. Okay. Curtis, correction here. Number 2 to Coca-Cola is Dr. Pepper.
My gosh.
My apologies to the friend of the program. And nothing else said. That was wrong, ladies and gentlemen.
Incredible moment. This is why we do it live, though.
Yeah.
And shout out to you for owning up to it.
I'm good at that. Yeah, I'm good at admitting my mistakes.
How do you
I do it all the time?
Well, if I were you, I would have been like, PepsiCo, like the larger family. Yeah.
It's okay. When people, this is why we do it.
This is why you tune into the live show if you're working at an ad agency, so you can call when you make a mistake and we're talking about your brand that you work on.
Deutsch has got to clip this now and just post it all over. Like, it's good stuff.
It's great. Well, that's why we do it live. You get those corrections.
Curtis, thank you for the correction. Appreciate you checking in. You're a friend of the program in my eyes. Always. Still and always.
Respect. Game. What a show we had today, Gino. If you are tuning in now and you missed it, rewind and watch the rest of it because it was pretty solid. We had some great guests join the show. To start the show, we did our WNBA and NBA Hall of Fame comps for ad agencies, which everyone is asking for.
Well, now, tomorrow we need to figure out which agency is the money ball of the industry.
I saw some chatter about that.
Some talk.
Who does the most with the least budget? Mm-hmm. I like that. We've got Daniel Montalto, who was on the show to kick off our interviews, talking about their work at Etsy, jabbing at Amazon, talking about Shop with the Other Jeffs on Etsy. And then we had Chris Colliton, ECD at Zulu Alpha Kilo, talking about how they're positioning Lyft to be the price option, the low price option in the broader rideshare market.
It's not a big lift. I like that line. Just go check him twice.
Check it twice. Not a big lift. JR did not like that one from Gino.
Wow.
And then Ricardo Aspiazu, the SVP of Creative and Brand Design at Verizon, talking about their reboot of Austin Powers for a commercial that now has turned into Austin Powers 4 being in development. So that was fascinating to talk about how all that came together and the behind the scenes and the involvement from the cast. And then, that was it. Gino, any big takeaway from this episode?
None on my end right now. Just some call-outs. It's call-out season. Maybe it's the World Cup. Maybe it's the championship of the NBA. People are getting competitive right now. But we're seeing Lyft kind of calling out Uber. We're seeing Verizon calling out the whole industry, it seems like. And we're seeing Etsy call out Amazon. It's beef day.
And Curtis called you out.
And Curtis called me out. Nobody's safe from these hands, it seems
That's
like.
right. Drop the gloves.
Yeah.
Drop the gloves.
And now I'm going to actually do the ESPN chirp line.
Yeah, call someone. Shout out Arts and Letters. That was the show. Appreciate everyone. We're back again tomorrow, Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time on YouTube, LinkedIn, and X. We'll hop into the post show right now, talk about our personal lives. Appreciate everyone for joining.
So I believe the production team thought it would be fun to put faces on us in the Instagram
Like a filter?
They did a filter.
How did that turn out?
Yeah, I haven't.
You haven't addressed.
I'm starting to.
Haven't addressed the situation.
People are. I'm getting a lot of text messages about the faces that we were making.
You looking like an idiot?
You too, brother. You are not safe from this.
Probably just you. I'm sure I looked great. I'm sure I looked awesome. Oh, what is this?
You got. You
guys can't do that. How was the show? How'd the show go, JR?
It was good. I left that stinger on at one point, which is gonna haunt me.
You almost had the perfect stream.
Yeah, almost. But it was fun. There's some great guests today. Cool spots coming out. I like the trend towards longer and longer, super tasteful, super the Austin Powers, all this stuff. Yeah, films. It's a fun.
Do the people yearn for longer form content? Like, do you find yourself being more drawn towards that?
100%.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. I think everybody's self-aware that they're scrolling and consuming quicker and quicker content. So everybody's trying to force themselves to watch longer stuff. And I feel like it's helping that.
Yeah. Ellie, your thoughts on the show?
I thought it was great.
Someone in the cat. Ellie looks over it.
No, I'm lasered in. I'm laser focused until this stream ends. I'm notorious for taking things very seriously.
That's right. That's the Ellie we've come to expect. Gino, the idea, I find myself watching people watch their phones like on the subway, and it's like, or like on the bus, and look at that. There it is. That's us. And I find myself being like, oh my God, that's what I look like when I'm scrolling my phone. And it's a rejection. I don't like the idea of like the scrolling and like the short form and like the things that keep people's attention. Literally subway surfers.
Oh yeah. I mean.
It's scary. So I can understand why people would be more interested in. Jeez, are you good?
I'm saying I disagree. I mean, I do that all the time. I freaking love it.
You love the short form scroll?
I love the short form scroll. Like, cause I just need. I'm not gonna lock in on anything during the subway of New York City. It's like I can't focus in while I'm traveling.
For sure.
Or commuting.
Yeah.
So I don't mind like teleporting for 10 to 15 minutes of my day, getting lost in my phone on TikTok for 10 minutes before I have to freaking lock in on this freaking show.
And this is my mother's Etsy store. Go check it out. Donna's Quilt Patterns. We brought that up to the Etsy VP of Brand Marketing. Talked a little bit about how they're focusing on the sellers, the humans. Awesome. Celebrate humans. My mother, I believe she has some. It looks like she has some sales going on. 50% off on some of those. And
these are patterns. So how does that work?
So I think you buy the pattern, and it's kind of like a instruction onto how to make that yourself. It's a scalable business because it's very digital.
For sure.
Look at that's our couch. It looks like she's using our living room as sort of a staging area for some of these quilts.
So she makes these patterns and the instructions on how to do it. It's so smart.
Yep. That's my mom's Etsy store. Been on Etsy for about 18 years.
Is she full-time Etsy now?
Yeah, she's full-time Etsy. Full-time creator. That's the show. Appreciate everyone. Well done. We'll see you back tomorrow, Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. This episode is also available on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. Shout out to Rothmans. Use code BREAKING10. Next time you're buying menswear, go to Rothmans, BREAKING10, or mention Breaking Entering when you're at the store. Thank you all. Enjoy your day.